I think this would be an appropriate time. You're wearing a wireless mic so you can move around. I think since neither one of us have jobs, it's time to crack a beer.
That's right. On camera?
Yeah, do it. Why not? We'll just let it roll. He's going to go get us one. Hey, we have light.
Did I violate any union rules?
No. That's another thing. We're not in a union anymore. We were, but...
I do have my old SAG-AFTRA card,
Right.
and I have my old International Association of Machinists card from when I
there
worked
you go.
Okay, here's a Grain Belt Northeast for you.
All right.
And I have an Old Crimson Lager.
Yeah. Old Crimson. All right. Well, let's crack a beer.
Is this legal?
Well, I hope so. I don't know. Cheers.
Cheers.
We're not going to overconsume. When you were a celebrity, people buy you beers all the time, right? Those poor college kids.
Okay, here's the story. Yeah, those poor college kids. We're in Pullman for a game. And I don't know, was it after a game or before a game?
I think it was after. It's
probably after a game.
Yeah, it was. We were in a nice brew pub or something.
We went to this pub restaurant, and we go into the bar area, and these kids recognized me from King 5. And before I know it, they're buying me a beer. They bought
us all beers. I think. We had a little group. Not a ton
these
of us.
college kids bought us beers. I'm going, you've got to be kidding me.
Because we were with Dennis Powell?
So, because they were with me. So we enjoyed the beers, and before we left, we sent around over there to them, too. I had to.
You had to.
Never.
Your star is getting dimmer all the time.
I have less luster. It's luster with a small L these days.
Right, these days, yeah.
When you've been retired for over 8 years.
You know, we both have a kind of a love affair almost with Tony Kornheiser, broadcaster, longtime newspaper reporter before that. Now, we're fans of the radio show, now podcast. Like him on Pardon the Interruption as well, PTI. But really our connection to him as fans was way back when he first did it on radio. And I just want to thank you for that, because you're the one who turned me on to it. I think I remember first hearing him on a radio station in Everett. Does that make sense? Because it was you who told me he was syndicated, and I believe
so.
I think that's how I picked him up the first time. Was on a little station in Everett, Washington.
Tony Kornheiser was big as a sports writer in Washington, D.C. at the Washington Post. Became good friends with Michael Wilbon, which he does PTI with. But yeah, I discovered him on radio. It was that time I discovered how to tape things on my computer.
Okay.
And he had a 4-hour radio show in D.C.
Right.
I'd get up at 6 a.m. and start rolling on my computer so I could listen to this Kornheiser guy. I don't even know how many years ago that they quit the radio thing.
Right.
And they did
podcast, yeah.
Everyone does a damn podcast these days.
And so we're coming.
Some are more entertaining than others, and Kornheiser's is pretty entertaining.
We're coming after you, Tony. No, we're not.
And of course, the best thing is he takes emails from listeners.
Right.
And I don't know, I probably have about 8 or 9 read.
I know, that's pretty
over
cool.
the years.
Yeah, I think I tried once. Thought it would get through, but it didn't. The story I wrote to him was when I was a little boy. Almost a teen. I got a brand new 10-speed bike for Christmas in Christmas of '69, so December of '69. And my dad, he bought it at the sports department at Sears, and he paid extra to have the bike assembled.
God bless Sears.
God bless Sears, right? But he paid extra to have the bike made because he didn't want to have to worry about it on Christmas morning, like as any of us parents have gone through trying to assemble toys or whatever. And what's so amazing, though, is in those days, baseball players, as we all know, didn't make that much money. No pro athletes really made that much. So in the off season, the Seattle Pilots shortstop, Ray Euler, was working.
Who couldn't hit for spit.
No, but he was a heck of a defensive shortstop.
He was, yeah.
And he assembled my bike. That's who my dad paid the extra money to. And so to this day, I've just always thought it's so cool that a major league shortstop built my bicycle. That's all. All right, well, there you go. That's our edition of...
That's part 1, part 2, or part 3, or part 4, depending on how Mike edits it.
Right, I get to edit all this stuff. Yeah, the Blakes and Bounds from Studio G.
So maybe we should, until next time.
Yes.
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody.